everybody, Jason Burmis here for wearechange.org, and we have yet another stunning development in the Dark Overlord hacking case in regards to their 9/11 papers and threats that they would release layer upon layer unless their ransom was met. This is an extortion racket. Let's be clear. But it does seem like these documents are legitimate and they have the goods on these people. So the question is, where is this going? What's going to happen? And what is the legality of having these documents? We're going to get to all of that in a moment, but I want to remind you guys that we are solely funded by you. So please consider becoming a member to our newsletter. Subscribe. Hit that notification button. Also become a member on YouTube or just grab one of our great t-shirts. Any of these things are so important to keeping this media organization running. And remember, the United States media, they're not telling you about this. This is day 4, and right now, even more documents have been released. In fact, the effort to keep this information under wraps has almost hit an unprecedented level, as the Dark Overlord was not only banned from Twitter yesterday, but their posts are being removed from Pastebin. Any documents that they have released are now being taken off Reddit, and in fact, there are no main Reddits allowed on this subject. You're only allowed to talk about it in certain contexts. This is absolute insanity, as these documents are indeed legitimate. So what have they done? Well, they have moved their platform over to Steemit. In fact, they've made a new announcement on the only platform that seems to be keeping their material up. In making Layer 1 and certain checkpoints available to the public, they have released this message. We are now calling this mega leak the 9/11 papers. Keep giving us cyber cash for cyber cash. Hello world. As you're well aware, we designed a compensation plan that would allow for the public crowdfunding of our organization in order to permit the public disclosure of our 9/11 papers in the interest of the public. Part of this plan was to create tiered escalation that would result in multiple layers and milestones, which we're calling checkpoints, to ensure the powers that be are being properly bent over the barrel. We've said it before and we'll say it again. We're financially motivated, and you, like the public, has spoken to us in our language, internet money, specifically Bitcoin. So once again, they really want these people to pay. They have no vested interest in the truth, which is very upsetting to me, because obviously this goes well beyond money. However, if you look at their documentation, especially Checkpoint 2, they have now done an analysis. Now, in this analysis, which seems to be more PowerPoint, Word docs, and even legal documentation files that you need more than Microsoft Word to open, they do have SSI files. Now, we're not going to be showing any of those here as, well, we don't want this channel to be pulled. But in the preview files, in this post on Steemit, you can see that one of the court cases seems to be handled by Tony Podesta. And for those of you not aware of Mr. Podesta's role, Tony Podesta that is, in 9/11, well, he's defending the Saudis to this day in many of the lawsuits. That's the truth, folks. So a guy like him could really go down. It's kind of stunning to me that they haven't been paid their ransom. Although the thing is, they could be paid their ransom by the powers that be and then work with the FBI and other intelligence services, which many of these organizations such as Lloyd's of London, Hiscox may be inclined to do, and they'd release them anyway. Now, I want to be clear. I'm not sure exactly what we're going to find out from all this documentation. However, you can be sure that many of the lies that were told about security, about aviation, about the investigation into 9/11, and regarding the demolitions of World Trade Center 1, 2, and 7 will be revealed in a manner that I don't think many people are prepared for. Let's not forget, some of this documentation already reveals that Silverstein Properties were suing some of the construction companies in regards to Building 7. Now, obviously, they would have to defend themselves. But again, I want to reiterate the pitfalls of this. They're calling out to the politicians. They're calling out to the organizations saying, hey, we're going to release this unless you give us money. Who is to say that they won't be contacted by somebody within intelligence or a private business that just wants their portion erased, or they want disinfo sprinkled into these documents? We haven't even talked about the fact that as you decrypt them, there may be the possibility that there is ransomware or malware built into some of these things, and your computer itself could be taken hostage. Now, all of that aside, there's also this possibility. I often talked about in the early days of 9/11 Truth, what happens if some of these people actually start being prosecuted and brought to justice? Does the United States government kind of fold? You know, is this a larger plan, a revelation of the method, if you will, to crumble the United States government and basically dismantle it under a system of global governance, perhaps led by the United Nations or NATO in some kind of a hearing or forum? Or does this documentation show what I've been calling for all along, an investigation into the international intelligence operation that was 9/11? In other words, are there other large Western governments that may have been involved that are revealed in these documents? What happens then? Let me tell you, friends, the future is uncertain, but we certainly cannot call this hacker group heroes. For instance, one of their posts recently, less than 24 hours ago, is them shilling for nudes of celebrities by hacking into plastic surgery documentation so that they can show the before and after pictures of stars' breasts. So once again, these people are anything but benevolent. And let's just hope that by the good grace of humanity coming together, that these documents are released in full and the public becomes more and more aware of what actually happened on 9/11. But right now in the US media, there is almost a verifiable blackout when it comes to the mainstream media, the big players, CNN, Fox News, MSNBC, and others are not even whispering about this event. I will be going live later this afternoon over on the backup channel Pulse Change, or you can go to youtube.com/LukeWeAreChange and find that channel. Please subscribe, hit the notification buttons on that one. We've just grown that channel to over 10,000 subscribers. And while I go live, we're going to be going over the documents one at a time. And if you've got information, I'm going to be taking it. We're going to be taking your calls, looking into the chats. There are over 650 new documents now available, and they need to be combed over. So make sure to check that out in about 1 or 2 hours. We're not sure when we're going to actually be able to do it, but I can assure you it's going to be the first in-depth look at these documents. So remember, go over to the backup channel, Luke We Are Change or Pulse Change, and I will see you there. As always, if you like this video, hit that like, share, and subscribe button. Follow me on Twitter at Jason Burmis. And remember, we are funded by you guys and you guys alone. So consider becoming a member here on YouTube or on our newsletter platform. Thank you so much. And remember to be the change you want to see in the world.